Today, we will delve deeply into AMC, the controversy surrounding synthetic shares, the potential for the mother of all short squeezes, and the reasons why so many investors continue to load up on AMC in spite of the current state of the market. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and to be honest, it is now impossible to ignore the gap between AMC's stock price and its business success. Giovanni Joe just posted that AMC has added even additional revenue options, such as a 2027 theatrical release agreement with Netflix and Narnia, and the Arena One live concert events being screened in AMC cinemas. Take a moment to consider this. Future prices are expected to be set by markets. They are expected to respond in accordance with possible future growth and earnings. Even though AMC has expanded its long-term revenue streams and announced new business opportunities, the stock is still worth less than it was prior to these announcements. People ought to wonder what is truly happening just based on it. Additionally, it goes beyond a single film collaboration. Because it paves the way for future agreements and other streaming collaborations, the Netflix arrangement is far more significant than most people know. For years, investors in AMC have been discussing precisely this kind of development. However, when you look at the stock today, AMC was down around 6%, hovering at $1.41, and it makes sense that many retail investors are upset. However, the motions are now nearly too predictable. People had previously predicted that AMC would close at about $1.50 last week, and it came to pass about exactly as anticipated. Regardless of favorable advances, it raises severe concerns about price suppression and market manipulation when a stock becomes so predictable on the downside. The truth is straightforward. Although AMC's business is making significant progress, the market is not appropriately reflecting this progress. Investors are aware of their holdings, the reasons behind their purchase of AMC, and the persistence of the long-term thesis. Although the price action can be annoying, the organization is setting itself up for significant future growth. Examine how the market handles other speculative industries, such as equities and photonic technology or AI memory businesses. The value of the stocks is continuously determined by potential and future expectations. However, forward-thinking optimism seems to be out of the question when it comes to AMC. Why? Because a higher AMC does not help institutions or short sellers. For this reason, a lot of people think the stock is still under unnatural repression. Simultaneously, we are witnessing an increasing number of analysts and organizations steadily shifting their positions regarding AMC. Some are switching from sell to neutral ratings, and some are even going the direction of buy or outperform recommendations. As more people become aware of AMC's strengthening fundamentals and upcoming prospects, price targets are gradually being boosted. In spite of this, market makers keep the peg down by internalizing orders, concealing purchase pressure, and pressuring failures to deliver higher. Investors at the retail level witness this in real time. This is where things become very interesting. So let's speak about the movie industry itself. One of the best beginnings in entertainment history. The domestic box office year-to-date revenue as of May 10, 2026, was almost $2.86 billion. The numbers are far better than they were in prior years. Furthermore, AMC is allegedly experiencing one of the best-made run rates in its history. Throughout 2026, records have been smashed month after month, according to headline after headline. A reviving and thriving box office situation is just what AMC investors have been hoping for. And keep in mind that AMC already produced a solid Q1 report. As the theatrical slate gets better throughout the year, investors are now anticipating even bigger Q2, Q3, and Q4 performances. However, the fact that AMC is gaining from more moviegoers is what makes this even more significant. Additionally, the business is improving its operating efficiency. AMC has been modernizing premium screens, streamlining concessions, enhancing infrastructure, and giving patrons more profitable experiences. Because each consumer is spending more money every visit, AMC may be able to boost earnings even if overall box office attendance remain unchanged. One of the most neglected aspects of the whole AMC narrative is this. The revenue per customer is increasing. Spending on concessions is getting better. Luxurious seating in premium formats like IMAX are becoming in popularity. In particular, more customers are choose AMC over rivals. This implies that even if the industry as a whole stabilizes, AMC's market share could still increase. The business spent years preparing for this precise moment, when moviegoers will be returning in droves. The change taking place in streaming services is another significant element. Movie theaters will be destroyed by streaming, according to claims made for years. However, the contrary is currently taking place. The significance of theatrical premieres is being recognized by streaming firms themselves. As a social activity, younger viewers are actively returning to cinemas. The fact that Netflix and AMC have partnered is a significant indication that theatrical distribution is still important. What prevents Disney, Roku, Amazon, and other streaming behemoths from considering similar collaborations in the future if Netflix is open to working with AMC? This significantly increases AMC's entire addressable market. The live entertainment aspect of the business comes next. Concerts at Arena 1 might develop into yet another significant source of income. AMC is no longer only dependent on classic films. Theaters are being transformed into centers of entertainment. The potential of live sports broadcasts, Formula One races, college athletics, concerts, gaming competitions, and numerous other activities have already been addressed by investors. Adam Aron has previously made references to investigating alternate event programming. In a few years, AMC's revenue potential might be quite different if these concepts keep growing. Even with these advancements, some analysts continue to set incredibly low price goals, with negative forecasts ranging from $1.20 to $3. Many AMC investors vehemently disagree with these goals because they think the company's increasing business model, strengthening alliances, and better fundamentals warrant far higher valuations. AMC may eventually position itself for buybacks, dividends, and significant institutional trust once more if the box office recovers to near historic levels, concerts and alternative content do well, and debt restructuring keeps strengthening the balance sheet. In the meantime, a lot of individual investors are still concentrating on the short squeeze theory. The mother of all short squeezes is predicated on the notion that enormous leverage, naked short selling, and large synthetic share creation have put short sellers in a risky situation. Supporters contend that short sellers have already spent billions attempting to stifle AMC, and that the squeeze potential will be immense if buying pressure overwhelms the system or liquidity dries up. For this reason, AMC is sometimes described as having asymmetric upside. Long investors think the upside may become historic if the system breaks, while short sellers could theoretically suffer limitless losses. The disparity between reported short interest statistics and AMC's declining price is another questionable element that investors are still debating. A lot of people wonder how short interest can apparently decline while the stock declines nearly daily. Why are millions of shares still being borrowed if short positions are purportedly closing? Why are there more and more delivery failures? For this reason, a lot of individual investors think that unreported synthetic activity and naked shorting continue to have a significant influence on AMC trading. Additionally, there is an increasing amount of conjecture about institutional ownership. According to reports, Discovery has greatly expanded its ownership stake in AMC, currently holding tens of millions of shares. According to a theory put out by some individual investors, institutions might be lending shares to short sellers in exchange for hefty loan fees, then utilizing the proceeds